Hello everyone! Thank you for watching. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about the ninth house in astrology. And this is based on reflection, contemplation, study, but also having recently completed my ninth house annual perfection year. Yay! So what is the ninth house? And what does it mean in modern times? The ninth house pertains to long journeys for our development, often a long journey on a quest for truth, on a quest for wisdom, on a quest for higher understanding. So some people say the ninth house is travel. And I do think especially when we have like a ninth house transit, we can get kind of bit by the travel bug and it's like, oh, I want to go abroad. But why? It's because we're seeking expansion of the soul. We're seeking expansion into greater wisdom, into greater understanding. Travel often brings that expansion. It connects us to something which is more. It connects us to the common stream of humanity, which is cross-cultural, intercultural, the spark that unites all of us. And sometimes, like if you go into a totally foreign culture and you look in the eyes of those people, you gain a meaning about what is it to be human beyond the superficial constructs of your own culture. That's what the ninth house really is, the journey, the quest for expansion of the soul. It's the cultivation of wisdom. So when I think of something that happened during my ninth house annual perfection year, it was actually that I suddenly found within myself sort of the discipline and the diligence to study medicine. Now, I'm not a physician or a medical professional, but I'm someone who'd lived with a medical mystery from the time that I was born. And this mysterious affliction and this disease had actually taken me into long stretches of coma, unconsciousness several times throughout my life. So it's been a big mystery. And during my ninth house year, I actually started to get clarity on the specific rare diseases that I was dealing with. But that came through a lot of hard-won observation, almost studying myself like a science experiment in a way that a true, highly educated scientist actually would, and learning about the brain. And like during my ninth house year, I listened to extremely long form lectures from Stanford, Harvard, Yale on hypothalamus, the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Like I went there, I went there into the depths of the latest science, the latest research. I dove really deep, and we don't see this with other houses. That's not what the third house is going to be. The third house is WebMD. Like, okay, I'm experiencing this. What is it? And it says, oh, you have a headache. It's migraine or something like that. And you get the very basic common knowledge. But with ninth house, you can access the hidden secrets. If you're willing to go there and you're willing to go on the journey and you're willing to put in the time, you can really uncover the truth. The ninth house, to me, represents that quiet study, reflection, cultivation of wisdom. It's the type of knowledge, like medical knowledge or mystical knowledge, where not only do you have to take time and slowly go over it and reflect on it, but there's that period afterwards where your whole view of the world is changed and you see through a brand new lens. Maybe it's a spiritual lens or it's an artistic lens or, it's a medical lens. Fundamentally, it changes your world view. And I think we see in the ninth house part of what that world view is built on. This is the type of knowledge in the ninth house that typically, outside of a very rare experience of like profound enlightenment, it's not going to be gained in a single moment. It's the willingness to take the journey to be initiated to that higher level of understanding. I do think we find truth in the ninth house. And like people who have like their sun or moon in the ninth house, they tend to be obsessed with truth. They tend to be honest at all costs. They tend to be living the quest to discover or uncover the hidden truths we find the deep thoughts here, not just the random thoughts that pop in your head. And I love third house or, kind of Gemini energy or those kinds of thoughts, but this is something more. There's a depth here. And I think when we're having a ninth house year, it's important to limit distractions, spend that time with yourself, reflecting deeply. There's a lot that can be learned through conversation or active study, but I think the distillation of that wisdom often requires us to step back, to step away, and to deeply contemplate the information which we have gathered, the facts which we have gathered. And to me, that's the ninth house. It's that powerful quest for knowledge. Often the ninth house is thought to be purely academic or purely spiritual, the place of priests and prophets and gurus. It can be that, but I think it can be anything. It can be any topic which calls us richly and deeply, anything that sparks us and sparks the expansion of our particular soul, any quest that really is the hero's journey, the long quests to uncover that knowledge, that insight, which is worthwhile, which is available only to those who are initiated, who are willing to go on that quest. That could be literally going to the top of the Himalayas, it could be an international journey, but it just as much could be a journey within yourself. So there's probably so much more about the ninth house, but upon reflection, these are the main topics of the ninth house which stood out to me during my ninth house year. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, consider subscribing and coming back for more astrology content. Thank you. Many blessings and namaste. Bye.